Yo. Okay, we're live. Back again with another stream. Just adjusting a couple of things here before we get going. So do bear with me. Okay. I haven't actually made like any notes for. I think this is from yesterday. So yeah, just adding a couple of to-dos just to keep myself on track, really. So yeah, well, okay, yeah. So we're not really building out pages; we're building out the container page, but that's fine. We'll just leave it as that. So we're hoping to definitely, we will be definitely ticking off this build navbar checklist. Sorry, check. And then we're going to aim to try and get the footer done. That shouldn't be as much work, so hopefully we can get that done as well. I think we should, and then in doing that, we should obviously have that container built out and be able to tick that off as well. I'm just thinking of other things that we might need to try and tackle if we have time. I think I'm going to aim for. It's not going to be a long one because it's kind of late, so I'm going to aim for like an hour. Maybe an hour and a half at most. It's not going to be a long one, but we're going to kind of jump straight in. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a fair bit covered today. Just want to quickly check on the stream, make sure that's all good. Okay. Cool, all good. Wow, I'm not lagging far behind either. That's nice to see. Just want to check the chat and make sure that's all good. All right, cool. We're good. We're good for that. So we can get going on things. Nice. Let's just close that down. Yeah, let's go for like an hour or so, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so what I've been working on since yesterday, basically, I can't remember where we got up to. I think we had got to the point of, and this is the bit where I'm gonna like look at another video. See, this is how like tired and delirious I've been this week. It's yeah, getting towards the end of the week in terms of working every day, so it's really started to hit me now. Oh, sorry, I'm just watching over something. Just loaded up my live video. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to yesterday's stream. I'm just trying to find out where we left off, just for like reference, really. Yeah, so I think essentially what we were trying to do before the end was to get the I'm looking here. Okay, so we got the breakpoints. I just wanted to add some custom breakpoints, so we've got that working towards the end. I'm not going to go back through the whole thing. You can check that out if you're interested in that. I've got chapters on there as well, so you can kind of skip through to any points of interest. So yeah, we just sort of did the breakpoints last, and we looked at obviously what we were going to do next time. And it looks here like I'm talking about the design, updating the design, which I do need to do. I'm gonna have to put that high on my priority list of things to do probably over the weekend, which is even more reason to push on and get this stuff done. So let's get in and let's set some stuff up. Okay, don't know what happened to that. Hello again. That's not what I wanted though. That was weird. Okay. It's a little bit better now. Cool. And sorry, I'm really picky with like this little gap. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is just run yarn dev. I'll show you where we are at, and then I'll explain how we got there. Come on. Does this thing hate me or what? Yeah, okay, it's not gonna let me follow that link, is it? Control click. Okay. So just ignore this weird thing that you're seeing right here. Just ignore that for a minute. Where we're at is since yesterday. Yeah, I literally just got rid of all the windows. Yeah, so since yesterday, what I've done is just a bit of work to make our navbar responsive, in the sense that if we go to our design, just for better context around this, I'm going to go to my mockup, and you can see immediately, I'm actually going to bring this right up to this top level. That's the whole point of this one, of me duplicating it, was to be able to just A and B this quickly. So basically, as you can see, we have essentially like two slightly different navbars. So on the mobile version, we've got the menu icon, we've got our logo, and then we've got the like the light mode toggle thing, light or dark mode. I never know what to call that. Like, I'm just going to call it the color mode toggle button. This, by the way, should have a fill of neutral 100 and 4. Cool. Okay, that's better. That like reflects what it looks like on this. Okay, so yeah. So the idea basically was to do that. Have this, fairly minimal navbar on our mobile. So I mean, it kind of just goes and it looks nice. And also, I can't really see that all of that text fitting into here, and the font being big enough. And we run into a lot more issues where we're trying to manage, this menu. So it just makes sense to kind of abstract that away into its own little page. And we might actually potentially look at doing that today if we get time. That would be cool. So what I'm actually going to do is add that to the list of potential things to do. I'm going to say add mobile nav page. Maybe not the best name, but we will roll with it for now. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a different navbar on mobile. We've got a slightly different one on header. And obviously the difference is what is being shown and what's not. So on desktop, we've got the logo, got the menu, and the color mode button, which are both in the flex box, and then obviously this menu itself has its own flex box. And so essentially, obviously on the smaller sizes where we don't want that, we're just we're hiding that from the users, and screen readers as well. So we're hiding this completely, and then we're obviously replacing that with this. So what I was just doing was just writing code, obviously, to implement that responsive behavior that we're after. So I won't run through like all of the code, but essentially, if I go, yeah, it's literally just a case of doing this. Display, none, and then flex. So basically, I kind of spoke about this a little bit, I think, in the last one, about the breakpoints in Chakra UI and how we actually have hey, how's it going, man? Are you getting that back? Not at all, man. Well, not at all. Hopefully soon, though. We'll see how this project goes. Focus on the bag. For sure, man. For sure. Focus on the bag. I like that. But yeah, man, welcome. I appreciate that. What kind? Looking sick, what kind of plan? Yeah, on this design, yeah, man. I completely agree. This really isn't. It's not really supposed to be this spaced out. there's definitely, yeah, I completely agree with you. There's way too much white space. And I was just looking at the design the other day. Like what I was trying to do was get some color in this. Yeah, for sure. So basically, the reason it's looking so spaced out and stuff. So in Figma, you got this kind of like space between prop, and like as you drag this container, like the stuff kind of resizes with it. So because I dragged it really far down, it just looks so weird. And I just kind of forgot to drag it back up and bring things a bit closer in. But yeah, I'm still like, this design is a work in progress, by the way. I'm still kind of working on this, thinking of different sort of ideas. You know, this definitely video in the hero. Yeah, I was thinking of some kind of because obviously I've just got this content box right now, so that's obviously an indication that something needs to go in there. And like, because I mess around with 3D stuff, so I do a bit of 3D stuff. So I've been contemplating either having like a 3D visual or potentially a video in there. You know, that I might play, or some kind of like SVG, like animation as well. No, that could be cool. Yeah, man, it's fun as hell. I mean, like I wouldn't say I'm crazy at it. Like I'm still quite basic, but I've been doing it on and off for like the past couple of years, just doing it here and there. And man, it's a lot of fun. Like if you can get into Unity, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've never messed around with that actually. But I mean, I've heard quite a bit about it. But I'm kind of using mainly Cinema 4D, if you heard of that, and like I haven't got into Blender yet, but I know that's like really popping off right now. I mean, it has been for the past probably few years now that people have like really taken to it, and obviously it's free as well. So to go from, oh damn, yeah, that's a task, man. But it's interactive, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what, like, yeah, you kind of read my mind there. Like that's exactly what I'm going for this like hero visuals, to have something interactive, something moving. So that's I'm still sort of having ideas around that, but what I want to do right now is just try and get this like base layout, you know, done, and then sort of figure out the content like after things are in. But what I'm doing right now is just kind of running through some stuff. Yeah, feel free to send. Let me see if I can configure this, because I've got this auto mod thing, which I don't know if it allows you to send links in this. I mean, I'd say give it a shot, and then if it blocks it, let me have a look. Let's have a quick look, man. And let me switch up this song as well, man. My bad. Okay, let's have a look. Twitch. Super blocks, yeah. Yeah, let me configure that quick. Or if I mean, if it's easier, I've got a Discord running, so I can pop a link to that, and you can maybe send it in there. But let me just see if I can find this. Yeah, because I'm still new to the whole Twitch thing, so finding everything's still a bit of a task for me. But let me. But yeah, whichever way is easier. Like, let's have a look. Stream summary. That's not what I'm looking for. These bots are out for me. Yeah, they're out for you, man. Damn. Let's have a look. Ah, here we are. Damn. Let me send a link to this Discord, and then feel free to like jump in that. Maybe just pop it in like the community chat or something. Yeah, you can put the link in there, and then I'll check that out for sure, man. So yeah, in terms of what I'm building, just trying to get this, like, I'm trying to get a container around each page. So obviously, like, all of this content in the middle here is like obviously the home page, and this is going to change like depending on what route I go to, like about, projects, blog. But what I want, obviously, between each page, the thing that's going to stay the same is this navbar, right, and then this footer as well. So essentially, that's what I'm building out right now, and I've got it started up. So it's obviously not looking, it isn't where I want it to be right now, which is fine. This is kind of like what we're looking at, but I've added these just like nice subtle animations. This took me a little while to get in here, but I'm kind of glad. The color's not coming through though, and I don't know why. Okay, that needs to be like, the text needs to be purple there. It's better in the browser. Yeah, for sure, man. I find that quite a lot as well, actually. But yeah, and this isn't really like, you know, this is just the very basic navbar. Like, this isn't even fully, obviously, how I want it all to be. But yeah, we're going to definitely add some nice like content to this. But like I said, yeah, right now it's kind of just going, it's taking that MVP approach, just get something that's functional, like, and get the layout done, and then I'm going to start adding like some nicer content and stuff. But yeah, this thing, I need to fix that up. So what I'm going to do, I was actually just working on this earlier before like I jumped off here, because I've only just jumped back onto my computer, so I was just trying to figure out where I'd left off with things actually. So what I'm trying to do right now is create this, I've got it in another tab somewhere. Like, there's this really nice, where are we at? So there's this really nice, yeah, like CSS animation that I found in this code pen, which basically, okay, I'm gonna have to refresh that so it works. So basically, it's just this thing that you, okay, no, the hover's not working. Hey, that's weird. That's weird, actually. The hover was working earlier. Like, let's try that again. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's got to be full screen. Yeah, it's got to be full screen for some weird reason. So yeah, you've got like this thing here that's going on. Like, you hover over it, does that, and then you click on it. It's just a nice subtle thing. So we're just kind of working on that right now. So that's where we're at with that. So, oh, I nearly closed down VS Code there. Okay, so what I'm doing to actually create that. So actually, if I go back to Figma, you'll be able to see the actual component, which is over here. So obviously that's my logo, and this is the component, which is basically just this box that has another box inside it with two elements, and that's, we're essentially trying to replicate this in code. And where is it at? So menu icon. And so what's happening is that this is too big. So we've got an outer box, and then we've got like, so what I essentially want, so that's fine, that span is fine. This one I want to be 18. All right, let's try this now. I need to get that browser back up. So they're still far apart. Let's inspect this as well. Let's just see. Yeah, I've got a little error in the console. I know what that is. I just need to forward some refs in React, because I'm doing some weird stuff with links right now. Okay, so they're 48 away. So what we actually, so that's fine. That box size is perfect. So what we actually need is another box that wraps around these two. What we can do for this is to potentially create like a, so I'm using Chakra UI just for some context here. They've got like, yeah, if you haven't used them before, like, I'd say try it out. It's really, really fast to build out layouts, and they focus a lot on accessibility, which is really cool as well. So it's like a win-win. It's a big plus for me. They've got like a bunch of like really handful components where like they've done a lot of like the CSS kind of for you. So like this VStack thing is just a flexbox that has a few extra properties like added onto it, and you can. The only thing is that it aligns center by default, which obviously I don't want. But in terms of spacing and stuff, that's cool. What I'm actually going to do is just leave this as is. I'm going to not, this is position absolute. I'm just going to turn off a couple of things here. I'm going to turn off, don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn that off as well. Save that up, and it should be a lot closer now. Or they should just disappear. Yeah, I thought so. Just trying to think of what's happening here. Right. Okay, so let's see. Do we need... Maybe we need position absolute on then, but I didn't think we would, but maybe we do. Don't know what it's doing that for. Okay, let's just do like an MB. Actually, I'm just gonna say like 4 or something random. What I'm guessing is that we're still looking at the same element, right? Yeah, so if I quickly just click on this span, I've lost it. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what's happening there. So, and that makes sense. Ah, okay, I know what we need to do. We do need to wrap it in another box. I was wrong. So we can just use the emit, wrap with abbreviation, put box there. Now we just wrapped it in a box, and then we can just add some props to that. Basically what we want to do is in Figma, so we've got this top level box which is 48 by 48, and if you look in Figma, that's this outer box here, right? So up on this right side, it's kind of a bit grayed out, you might not be able to see that, but that's 48 by 48, so that's our outer box. And obviously we've got these 2 lines, but actually they're inside like another box, which is actually 36 by 20, so that's what we need to do now. And this is what I like, just constantly working between here and Figma. I find it a lot easier to kind of make decisions, because like I use Figma as the kind of like single source of truth. So whatever it says in Figma, like we're going with it, because those are the design decisions I've made beforehand. So it's just best for me to kind of follow that. And now what we do immediately by doing this, that when I save this, and I bring these 2 props back, the top and bottom, that top and bottom is not so far apart now. So what we were seeing before that was weird. It's for some reason still happening, but if I go and inspect this now, how big is that? Ah, okay, yeah, that's cool. So we don't want this to be the position relative, actually. We want what's below it to be position relative. So that's just our outer box. We could do padding. So there we go. So now you can see now, like that's what we're looking for, right? What we can do now, actually, which is interesting, is we can switch this now from being a box to let's go for center. So this is just a display grid center, which basically centers whatever items inside it. It will center it, I'm pretty sure, like vertically and horizontally as well. So if we just do that, we get that now nicely centered. It just centers itself perfectly, which is really nice. So and yeah, just like that, we kind of create this icon. And I'm actually kind of just thinking right now that none of this was that important, because actually there's another thing that we missed out. And that's the fact that this is going to go in a button, because obviously we're going to have some functionality, right? This is going to open up a menu, so we need to be semantic about it and actually have this as like a button. So that's the menu icon. So what I'm going to do is create a menu button, so we can just do it here. By the way, if anyone's wondering, like I'm not really sure how other people are like writing their returns. this is the first project where I'm actually writing like long returns like this. Like typically I'd actually abstract a lot of this out. But then obviously I've been reading up a lot recently, sort of before and also whilst I've been doing this project, and especially people like Kenzie Dodds and a few other people like that are, you know, quite well known in the community, especially around React, and reading a lot of stuff about abstractions and actually the dangers of abstracting too early. And I actually was thinking back on it the other day, and I ran into quite a few problems in like various React projects where I've actually just tried to abstract stuff like too early. So I've like been like, okay, this return's getting a bit long now, I'm just going to put this like somewhere else. And obviously it feels nice to have all these different like modular parts, but then when you have to start passing props between them, like maybe like a couple of levels down, that's fine. But then once obviously, you know, your app starts to grow a bit and you actually need to have some kind of functionality where you're actually passing more state, or you're having to pass state deeper down into components, the more and more you're breaking out and abstracting these components, like it just becomes more difficult to manage. And I've really felt the pains of that actually. So when I was reading stuff about that recently, I was like, yeah, actually that has been an issue for me. So I'm taking the approach of actually just allowing myself to have long returns, which is weird. And there's been a bit of resistance, if I'm being completely honest. Like earlier today, actually, I very, very nearly abstracted this out. To be honest, I at this point I probably could do that, but because I'm kind of thinking like, obviously we've got this is open prop that I'm passing through. We probably won't need that at this icon level. I'm creating a menu button at this level. We'll probably need it, perhaps, but like at the icon level right now, we might potentially need it just because of the animation I'm trying to do, which we'll kind of get onto, but not right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I also want to do a hover thing. Let's do that now. So I'm just going to do a quick like on hover. Oh, always forget. On hover, I want the width. Don't know why I didn't do the shorthand before, but that's fine. Is it this? Yeah. I want the width to be, and let's have a look. 36, right? Can I just click off that? Yeah. Oh, what's going on? What have I done? Let's have a look. Unexpected keyword. Okay, that's obviously not the issue, I don't think. Is there a problem with the CSS? Oh, it's my bad. I don't know what I'm doing there. I was about to write the other component, that's why. Let's have a nice look at this. Okay, of course, yeah. No, that's no good, is it? Okay. Yeah, I'm having a few thoughts of where we can go with this idea of because obviously here I showed it's not showing like this. I'm gonna have to do this again. I obviously showed like this kind of nice animation that we can see here. What I'm actually doing is the opposite of this. So it starts like this, and then it's going to end up like that once we hover over it. And then when we click on it, it's going to do that. So the difficulty with obviously this is that when I hover on the button, like itself, like anywhere on the button, I want this animation to happen. Obviously right now we're just doing that on the individual element. That's not helpful for us because like it's not really easy to do that. And obviously we haven't messed with the transition, like smoothing that out and stuff. We can do that later. But obviously we're getting that functionality, that's fine. But we want that when we actually hover within like this entire button, which obviously it's not a button yet, that's fine. But I'm going to make it a button. So let's go to, we'll just say const menu button, and we're just gonna return an icon button, if I can spell it. And what we're going to do as an icon, we're going to take in that menu icon, and this is where we'd want to actually just have those props. I'm just trying to think though, actually, we probably don't need that. And the reason I'm thinking this actually is because let's firstly see what it's like without that. Right. Okay, so that's obviously right up in the corner. That's fine though. And now, let's have a look at it as a button. So what I'm going to do is actually just switch out. So in our container, this is our, sorry, not in our container, in our navbar, we've got menu icon. What I want to change this to is menu button. I'm just going to get rid of these props as well for now. Okay. So yeah, we've got some things to configure. Evidently, let's try and add, so I created a variant that just makes it look like this icon on the right here, gives us the hover stuff and all of that for free. So if I save that, we should have got that. Doesn't look like it. It's weird. Oh, that's why. Okay, another important note. I don't know why I've forgotten this, because I've been doing this for like a while since I've been writing React with Chakra UI. We need to pass props through to this icon button, otherwise it's not going to receive any of the props we're passing to it on the top level. So whenever we compose our own components from like Chakra components, we need to pass through props, otherwise up here we're not going to be able to pass in like this variant, for example. Obviously another way of doing this, to be honest, is just to pass through variants on this level, which I'm actually going to do just to make this a bit cleaner. But suppose, you know, there's a couple of contextual things like margins and stuff we might need just to add to this button, and I find it a lot easier to have margins on like the level where different components are concerned with each other in terms of UI. So like in terms of the relation of their position, it makes it a lot easier to debug like certain UI changes. Like maybe, you know, there's some weird thing happening where it's, you know, it's, you're not supposed to have that amount of space between two elements. You can actually just look on the same level rather than having to go into this other component and actually check what's going wrong. It's, you know, it's a bit, I find it a bit more harder to debug when I have stuff like margins and very specific stuff like that within these little components. I'd rather have that on the top level, like in these big returns. It just makes life a bit easier for me personally. Anyway, I'm not sure how other people feel about that, but. And also what I haven't done is, I always do this as well, and this is this is a bit, and this is not any like, it's nothing against Chakra UI and the way they do things. So they have obviously this icon button component. They also have an icon component, and with the icon component, obviously you're creating that as like, you know, this default icon. So you have to give it something, but you don't give it a component. You give it like the name of so say if we were to import something from React icons, and let's say like the material design library, and you've got like a name, or for example, actually we can just take the example of this moon here. This is from the Ionic library, and we've got IO moon. We've also got IO sunny outline for when we go to dark mode. And obviously we're just passing in these names. And this is where I get confused, because I often do this with the icon button, but this doesn't work, because with the icon button, you actually have to pass in the actual component, not just the name. You have to pass in the whole component. Otherwise, it just doesn't render. So if I do this now, we should see that we get it in there now. Obviously, that's a bit weird. The reason it's weird is because we haven't set any kind of like padding or anything. So we're going to go back to Figma for this, and we can just look. And this is what I like. You can just look at the padding here. We've got, okay, cool, 14, 14, 6, and 6. So it's kind of just, yeah, nice to kind of see it in that way. So what we can do is just use PX and PY. So obviously PX is the like x-axis, so the horizontal padding, like padding right and left, and then PY is padding top and bottom, so the y-axis. So let's do that. So we'll start with px, and that was, I believe, I'm not even gonna guess it. Might as well just look back at it. So that was 6. Is that correct though? It's width and then height, right? Yeah. Oh, the height. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's 12. Yeah. So it's 12 and then 12 and 28. Cool. So that was, yeah, that's my bad. Okay, 12. So px is 12 and py is 28 px. For some reason though, we're not getting much let's have a look. Okay, what's going on? Ah, hold on a minute. Nah, okay. Didn't actually realize we set the thingy. Let's try and set it on here. Okay, that definitely didn't work, did it? Damn, okay. Nah, that's not what we want. Okay, so what happens if we just get rid of that? Yeah, it literally just collapses itself. It's weird. Oh, my bad. Let me just use the actual inspection tool. Yeah, so it's not quite what we want it to be. Could we? Wow, time is actually really gone. We're already 40 minutes in. That's flown by. What the hell? Damn, that's crazy. Cool. Let's push on. Sorry. Okay. Right, let's figure out what's going wrong here. So let's do this. I think for me the quickest and most sort of least resistant way of doing this is to give ourselves these boxes here. So I'm gonna give us this box. I suppose actually we don't get that top level thing. Okay. What if we actually... No, we just did this, didn't we? Oh, PC. Haven't heard of that one. I'm pretty sure we just did this, but maybe we didn't. 48 by 49. My bad. So what we actually can do is go back and get that center back. And see if we can... Let's see if that works this time. No, that doesn't work. So the height and stuff is right, got the width right. What I'm trying to envision is just basically having these two lines inside a box. Then go, unless Unless you do like a center inside of a center, that could work. Probably not though, but we never know. It does kind of work. It doesn't center things how we want though. What I can do though is just put left 0 because it's position absolute. Yeah, well, because that's position relative, sorry. We should just be able to put left 0 here for the bottom one, and it should just put that to the left, which it does. That's fine. This is not like an ideal solution, if I have to be honest, but it will do. I think it works okay. And now I'm just questioning whether we actually need this top level center. Okay, no, actually, no, we do. Because that center's only covering that bit. It's only covering so much, and then we can have like red 200. That should cover around it. No, it doesn't actually. So let's try and get rid of it then. Maybe this will mess with things, but it's best to just always try things out. So it doesn't actually mess with it. So I'm glad we did that. Otherwise, we would have had some unnecessary CSS generated there. So you can get rid of that green background now. We're all good with that. Well, I'm glad that we managed to get through that on the stream, actually. Okay. I don't want the same thing, though, for this. Personally, I just think it looks kind of cleaner and nicer without having this background. I think for the light mode toggle, it looks really nice. But for this, I don't think it's that necessary to have it. So what I'm going to do for the icon button is just to actually give it the variant of ghost, so not icon, but ghost, and that would just hide everything about it. So you can see it's gone now, but it still operates as a button. We can still hover. Okay, so we've still got the hover state. What about the focus? Still got the focus state. Sorry, active state. Yeah, I don't want that either. So we can just do the same thing. Just say hover. We can just say variant. And we can say ghost. So it's gone there. You can see it's gone now. Cool. Yeah, we'll do all the kind of cool animation-y stuff later. But that's cool. The most important thing is that it's working. And that obviously shouldn't be there now. So, well, it shouldn't be there on that desktop side. So now what we can do is... we can probably do it in here for now. Which is display. If it's at the base, then we want to say block. If it hits, what, like large, I think. What have I done wrong? Was I right to do this? Yeah, it's media query, right? What was it again? Losing it already. I'm knackered, man. I didn't just see one, I promise. Right, LG, none. There you go. Let's go back to that now. So what's nice, we go to inspect. Let's do something responsive. So you can see as we gradually go down, we get a nice switch. Nice, okay, I'm happy with that. That's cool. So that is, as far as I'm concerned right now, that's our like basic navbar done. So I just need to quickly check on this text style. I'm not sure what's going on here with this. We're not getting purple text color. I think I might know why that is. I'm also going to make some commits soon. I'm trying not to go too far without making commits. Just trying to stay in line with that conventional, commit stuff. So. Let me make sure to stick to that and do that soon. Before I do though, I'm just gonna... I think it might actually just be in the containers file. Let's have a look a bit further down at the link text. I'm just gonna keep that consistent with the usual CSS shorthand I use, which is BG instead of background. I'm just trying to see where I adding the color. So again, we can just use BG here. Hover before. So I need another drink. Nothing beats a good bit of orange squash, I tell you that. Wow, okay. Let's try doing... We're looking for hover, so what I'll try doing is... We've got BG theme, so let's try color. Try color theme. Oh no, we're interested in the span, aren't we? We're interested in the content. So hover span. Okay, this is what we're looking for. This will give us what we're looking for. Oh yeah, that's fine. Just add a comma, and we good. Oh, there we go. It's activated again. Lovely stuff. Right, okay, so let's push on now. So actually we can go up here. Not there. There, and we can just tick that off. So yeah, like I said, we're kind of running out of time. I kind of knew that it was unlikely to get everything done. But let's build up this footer quickly. Let's see if we can get this done. What time are we at now? So we're just heading up on an hour. Let's see if we can kind of get this done in the next maybe 30 minutes tops, I'd say. And then... yeah, we can sort of jump back into things tomorrow and carry on building there. But yeah, let's try and get this footer done. Let's tackle this thing. So let's have a look right now. Obviously, in our mock-up right now, we've got things looking like this on desktop, which I quite like. Again, that's kind of the idea is definitely taken from Lee Robinson's personal portfolio. So he was a lot of inspiration there. That's nice. Okay, and then on the mobile, we've just got the icons and then this little note to say something encoded by myself. Okay. So what do we want to start with first? Well, let's firstly do the commit stuff and then we can get kind of working on this stuff. Okay. Oh, let's expand this a little bit. So cool. So this stuff really is all concerned with the navbar, pretty much anyway. So so is that, and so is. I'm just gonna get rid of that link text. Just give me one moment, guys. I need to just pop out for a second. I'm being summoned. Yeah, be right back. Be right back. apologies about that, guys. I'm gonna have to speak significantly more quietly, maybe. Yeah, everyone's kind of going to bed, so we'll continue working on this a little bit, and then I'll also be heading to bed myself. But what we're looking at right now is just making some commits on our progress on this branch so far. We're also going to be looking at renaming this, because I was looking at it today and I thought, actually, we can give these things better names. In terms of the branch that we're currently on, if I actually go just open up a new terminal, we'll see that. So we're on the feature create homepage. Really, I think it's better to have this as a create container page, and then separately we can create our homepage, and then we can create the about page separately, and kind of just makes more sense. It's a minor thing, but it'd be nice to look at a new command that I actually haven't used in Git, which is, can't remember. Yeah, the quick fix. No, not quick fix. Sorry, I'm just reading the actual name of a branch. It's it's just, I suppose it's not a new command. It's git branch, but it's a new workflow, right? Changing a branch name locally, and then also to have it reflect remotely as well. We'll look at that. So let's make these commits, and then we can get into that. So cool. So container, we already know what that's about. So the typography. So before I commit, I just want to make sure that I'm committing the stuff that I want to be committed. So I don't need this stuff. So what's actually going to happen is that I'm going to get rid of it, and then it will turn out that we won't need to commit it, because that's all I've added to this file. Is stuff concerning that typography of the link component, the typography styles of the link component. So let's get rid of that. Let's just chop that all out. And then if I hit save on that, we should hopefully go back to this, and you can see it's gone down to 5 now, so it's got rid of typography.js. So that's the one really nice thing about Git, very intuitive in the fact that it, oh, wrong tab. I'm also noticing a significant drop in connection, so apologies if things are going choppy. I genuinely don't know what that is. I don't know, maybe my Wi-Fi's dropping out. It's gone back up to green, but I don't know. Hopefully we're good though. So okay, I've got rid of that. That's all good. And then I've added our icon button, added some breakpoints. So what we want to do first is get these 2 icon. So this is just create and preview icon button variant. Okay, that's fine. So we can run with that, and let's commit that. Conventional commits, and I'm just going to say it's a style change, and I suppose, yeah, okay. I suppose you've introduced a new feature, but I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think of the best way to kind of do this. I'm just going to say update the stuff files. What we're going to have is create and preview icon button variant. Hopefully it's not too long of a commit message. So those 2 are gone, we're all good. Don't know if it's worth submitting this. Committing this file, because we're not done with it yet. I still need to learn more about GitHub best practices. Or one thing we do need, I'm going to hold on to that thought, because one thing we do need to do is tackle this. It's untracked. Right now we don't need it. What I'm going to do is this. seeing as we don't need it right now, let's just get rid of it. So yeah, see it's just gone from there, so it's not going to get added, which is nice. Yeah, that's fine. This one's fine. I'm just gonna that's a very quick one. We can just kind of conventional commit. Again, style thing. And then we're gonna say update theme. Oh, actually no. Let's just be really explicit and say add custom breakpoints to theme. Okay, and all we've got left is our container.js file, which we still want to do a little bit of stuff to, so that's fine. We can maybe leave that then. And should we look at the branch name? Yeah, we can possibly do that. But it's not high priority. What I'm going to do, I'm going to push that. I'm going to add some issues around this kind of thing. And then we can, yeah, tackle those at a later point, because I do want to get into building this footer now, especially as we've gone past the 1 hour mark, and I'm trying to round off here. So, you know, I want to get that good sleep before work tomorrow again. Right. So let's get started on this. Maybe we can. Let's start from mobile. I think that's the most sensible thing. We can go off the same kind of idea in terms of the media queries of having some set styles from base to large size, and then from large upwards we can change that. So let's start small, and let's start with these icons. I think that's probably the best thing to do. So what we can start with, if I GitHub, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Twitter, we've got YouTube, and we've got Twitch. So those are the most 5 prominent platforms that I'm using that help me. So let's just kind of close a couple of things down, and yeah, let's think about creating those icons. So I think really we can just do this for now, all in the return. All in that component, and then if we really need to split things out, then we can start to abstract. But for now, let's stay in that kind of mindset of having things in an easier place to access, and then making life a bit easier for ourselves, with the sacrifice that things might look a little bit messier than it would if we were to, you know, change around our code. But at least, you know, this will push us to kind of make things more readable as well, and to maybe abstract things within the same file, where and if that's necessary. But let's get into bringing in those icons. So what we want to do is go back to the container page, which we are already at actually. So we've got our footer down here. So let's see what we want it to return, right? So essentially what we want is this flexbox so I'm just looking at this thoroughly. So what we want to have is a footer that's got, obviously this footer just kind of has that thing in the bottom. Okay, so what I want to do is to okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's return some stuff now. So what we want is to return, suppose it's like a bunch of icons with their links. Right. Let's have a look at the chakra docs as well. That might help us to. Well, let's get the icons in first, actually. You know what? Let's get the icons in first. Let's make things simple for ourselves. Simple, simple, simple. So what we want to do is we want to import a bunch of icons, etc., etc. So one way I want to do that will make this easier for us is to just create some kind of thing that stops us reinventing the wheel too much. I say thing to create some kind of component, which can be, what can we call it? Excuse me. Social link. Let's call it a social link for now. And what we want to do it is, what do we want to render? Return. So for each thing, we want to return I suppose it's a list item. So what we want inside is children. So we can do our basic stuff like list style, none. And then let's have a look. So what else might we need to pass into it? No, I'm so out of it. I can't even think of something right now. Right, okay, so that thing, then have it as an A tag. We could do That's not what I wanted. I want a link. So link. Maybe we want it to be as external. Let's pass through something. Let's pass. So let's pass in these things. Pass in the href. What we want to do is we want to just give this thing a series of social links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Use a fragment if you want. I probably would. I need to change my language thing to TypeScript if it's not already, so we don't get this horrible red thing. It would be fine if it still allowed us to filter through and use like emit abbreviations and stuff down here, but we don't have access to that, so that's fine. Let's yeah, we can change that file up. That's all good. Okay. Of course, actually, each of them needs. So let's say social link. We need to also give it an icon, of course. Okay, I'm kind of like trailing off. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just leave things here. We'll carry on with this tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully I won't be doing things so late, and I can get things done a bit earlier, because by this point, after a full day, a rather full-on week, I'm kind of out of it. I'm pretty knackered, so I'm gonna leave it here. My eyes are just going. I'm going in circles. I truly, I don't want to write bad code. So, in the spirit of, no, I'm joking. I just need to, I need to get some sleep. So, thanks so much everyone for joining. But yeah, we've seen where we are at so far. So we've got that all. It's just taken it away from us. Okay, but you get the gist. We've got those hamburger styles set up. We've also, well, essentially fully built out the navbar. Just got a few small things to take care of. We'll get on to branch renaming, looking at our first pull request, also making our first pull request as well. I'm yet to do that, so tomorrow's looking quite promising for a couple of different places. So yeah, I'm gonna stop before I just keep on babbling and rambling on. But everyone have a good, nice rest of the evening, and we'll see hopefully some people tomorrow. That's going to be my aim, is to get on around, if not late afternoon, then I reckon early evening. I think it's going to be the aim. So awesome. Thanks for checking in, guys, and we will be back at the next one shortly. Well, tomorrow. Cool.